जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनन्दन जय ब्रज जनरञ्जन जय ब्रज जनरञ्जन जय यशोदनन्दन जय ब्रज जनरञ्जन जय ब्रज जनरञ्जन तीरावनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरावनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Whatever.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Today on the occasion of Srimati Radharani's appearance day, we are very fortunate to have His great Shantivardhan Chaitanya Prabhu from ISKCON Malaysia. And Prabhuji is very senior Vaishnava and he is by qualification a lawyer and he is very perfectly using this qualification in the service of the Lord in Malaysia. He takes care of the legal affairs of ISKCON Malaysia. And currently he is serving as a secretary in ISKCON Kuala Lumpur. So let us welcome Prabhuji and we can hear also from Prabhuji regarding the Radharani on the occasion of Radharani. Let's welcome Prabhuji. They want to loudly chanting Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tattvajaya Mudiraye Nastaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swaminiti Naminin Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradainin Gorakadadamadaya Nagragramattarinin Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Naminin Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharinin Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Desatarinin. Hare Krishna. So, I'd like to offer my humble obeisances to all of you. Very inspiring and very blissful kirtan just now. I was very happy to participate and meet all of you here today. So today is a very wonderful day, Sri Radhastami, and I believed that every sloka of the Bhagavatam is always related to the Lord and His consort. And naturally, so I requested that we read this and whatever verses that's following. I really don't know what was the verse. And naturally, today's verse is also related to Srimati Radharani. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, text number 26. Correct? This verse is a very long verse, like a different, not a natural, like a prose. Yeah. Anybody know how to chant this prose? Or you will just read? Okay. Etasam kavir mahavira savana iti traya asan urdhava retasascha ta atma vidyayam arbha bhavat arabhya krita parichaya paramahamsyam eva, okay, paramahamsyam eva sramam abhajan. Okay. Devotees, anybody like to repeat?
Etesham kavir mahaviraha
Etasham kavir mahaviraha
Iti traya asan urdhva
Savana iti traya asa urdhava
Etasasta atma vidyayam
Etasamta atma vidyayam
Arabhya krita
arabhya krita parichayaha paramahamsyam evashramam bhajan. Can I have some water, please? Water.
Etesham kavir mahavira Savana iti traya asan Udvare tasasta atma Vidyayam arba bhavat Arabhya krita parichaya
Paramahamsyam evashramam abhajan. Mothers. Okay. Etasam, of this, kavihi, kavi, mahaviraha, mahavira, shavana, ha, savana, iti, thus, trayaha, three, asan, were, urdhava retasaha, completely celibate. They, Atma Vidyayam, in transcendental knowledge, Harba Bhavat, from childhood, Arabhya, beginning, Krita Parichayaha, very well versed, Paramahamshyam, of the highest spiritual perfection of human life, Eva, certainly, ashramam, the order, abhajan, executed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Three among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavira, and Shavana, lived in complete celibacy, thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood. They were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahamsa Ashramam. Devotees can repeat. Three among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavira, and Shavana, lived in complete celibacy, thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood. They were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahamsa Ashrama. Purport. The word Urdhva Retasaha in this verse is very significant. Urdhva Retaha refers to one who can control sex life and who, instead of wasting semen by discharging it, can use this most important substance accumulated in the body to enrich the brain. One who can completely control sex life is able to work wonderfully with his brain, especially in remembering. The students who simply hear Vedic instructions once from their teacher could remember them verbatim without needing to read books, which therefore did not exist in the former times. Thank you, Prabhu. Another significant word is Harbhava Bhavat, which means from very childhood. Another meaning is from being very affectionate to children. In other words, Paramahamsa life is dedicated for the benefit of others. Just as a father sacrifices many things out of affection for his son, great saintly persons sacrifice all kinds of bodily comforts for the benefit of the human society. In this connection, there is a verse concerning the six Goswamis. Tva Turnamashesha Mandalapatim Srinim Sadatu Java Bhutva Dina Ganesa Korunaya Kopina Kanta Srado. Because of their compassion for the fallen souls, the six Goswamis gave up their transcendental positions as ministers and took up vows as mendicants, thus minimizing their bodily wants as far as possible. They each accepted only a loincloth and a begging bowl. Thus they remain in Vrindavan to execute the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by compiling and publishing various Vaishnava literatures. Three among these, namely Kavi, Mahavira, and Shravana, lived in complete celibacy. Thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood, they were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahamsa Ashrama. So, this is the essence how we can understand Srimati Radharani, very beautifully explained in this verse and purport. Brahmachariyena. And one is the Brahmachari, and another one is Paramahamshena, the highest spiritual perfection of human life. So the highest perfection of the human life is we serve Srimati Radharani. That is the goal of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We are not Krishna Dasas. We are Sri Radha Dasis. Ultimately, the goal of Gaudiya Vaishnavas is to become the servant of Srimati Radharani, the maid servant of Srimati Radharani. That is what all Gaudiya Vaishnavas desire. That is the Paramahamsa stage for us. And that highest perfection, the secret to attain that here is mentioned is celibacy. In other words, unless we give up lust, it is not possible to understand Radha and Krishna Yugala Priti, the relationship between Sri Radha and Krishna. So we must give this up, lust. It is not possible at all. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada is quoting the Goswamis here, Kopinas Kantasrudau. So the idea to wear the kopina is that we control the lust. That is why it's encouraged that every devotee, they always wear kopin instead of, other kind of undergarments, especially for the males. Kopin is very helpful in this sense. By wearing a kopin instead of other kind of undergarment, it really helps to control the senses. So, and another meaning of kopin as Kantasrado is they were top government leaders. Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, we know they were the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami, he was born here in South India, in Sri Rangam, and the elder brother of Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami is Sri Venkata Bhatta, who was the, Dharma Karta of the Sri Rangam temple. In other words, to be the Dharma Karta means he has to be someone extremely important. So practically the whole Vaishnava community of the South India was under the control of Sri Venkata Bhatta Prabhu. And Gopalabhatta Goswami was related, what is his father, son. So he has this influence also. Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was the guru of Jai Singh, the king of Jaipur. So he was this guru. So he had, and we know Man Singh, he was extremely powerful political personality. And being the guru is very powerful position. Raghunath Das Goswami, his parents, they were Hiranya Majunda and Govardhan Majunda, extremely wealthy jamindars in Bengal. And Srila Juba Goswami was the nephew of Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. So like this, if we study the Goswamis from material aspect, they were extremely influential politically, financially, and other influences, material influences. And they gave all up. They just like rubbish, they just throw them away. Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Balidev Subhadra Shri Shri Radha Krishna and Shrimadev Gonitai Ki Jai. In the Shri Shakshtaka, we read what is the third line? Third line, what is that? No, next one. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, na kavitam. So we give up this desire for dhanam, money, finance, wealth, na janam, na sundarim, no desire for sexual life. This is giving up lust. Na janam, na sundarim, na kavitam, no desire for glorification, praise, honor, living simply like a mendicant, totally giving up all the different, there are subtle sex and gross sex. These are subtle sex, desiring for name, fame, position, followers, janam, na dhanam, na sundarim. So like this, attraction from the male and female also, praises. So these are different kind of lust. So we must give them all up if we are sincere to obtain the mercy of Srimati Radharani and obtain the shelter at her lotus feet. Otherwise, there is no possibility. So this is the basis. And it starts with brahmacharya life. So, how many of you here are not brahmacharis? Please raise your hand. You have not surrendered to become a brahmachari. All of you are temple resident devotees? No. So you all are working. So then you can consider, give up. Join the temple. If you are sincere, if you want. You're all young men. Millions of lives we have dedicated to satisfy the senses. Millions of lives. See, it's confirmed. When the bell is ringing, it's confirmed. And we have wasted our life. And in this life, we have got the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani, right? Gaur Mohan Dev, every sadhu that comes, he would invite them. It doesn't matter whether it's a genuine sadhu or bogus sadhu or whatever, or ganja adiwala sadhu or whatever. He will just invite them very respectfully to his house, feed them very nice prasadam, and then say, please bless my son that he may become the devotee of Srimati Radharani. That was his only prayer of Gaur Mohan Dev. So Srila Prabhupada, I don't know, maybe you must have heard this pastime of Srila Prabhupada. We know that Srila Prabhupada is a very amazing cook and he loves kachoris. And one time Srila Prabhupada personally made kachoris. He cooked kachoris and he served his servants, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, Upendra Prabhu, and many others were there. Many names were not mentioned, but mainly His Holiness Tamal Krishna names was mentioned. So they were all eating this kachori that was made by Srila Prabhupada. And it was a really amazing kachori that Prabhupada made. Very tasty. And naturally Tamal Krishna Maharaj, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj, then he asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, these kachoris, they were they were so nice, they're so tasty. Where did you learn this recipe? How did you, learn, where did you learn this recipe? And Prabhupada said, Srimati, Mother Yashoda taught me. That's what Prabhupada replied, Mother Yashoda taught me. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he is always very expert. He always tried to get the more and more information from Srila Prabhupada. And he asked, Prabhupada, you learned this from Srimati Radharani, from Srila Mother Yashoda. So who were you in that Leela, when Mother Yashoda was teaching you? And Prabhupada smiled and looked at him and he said, if I were to tell you, you will faint. So Srila Prabhupada did not reveal. But, so this is... so like this, in our performance of devotional life, there is a sadhana bhakti, there is the bhava bhakti, and the ultimate prema bhakti. And the sadhana bhakti, we have two different stages. There is the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and there is the Rahagunaga sadhana bhakti. So these are two different stages are there. So in the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, we have the Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti stages. And then in the Rahagunaga stages, we have the Nistha, Ruchi, and Ashakti. Of course, one can progress directly from the Anartha Nivritti stage direct to Bhava Bhakti. Not that we can progress, but it's a mercy of Krishna. Because Bhava, we cannot get Bhava by our endeavor, by our sadhana. Bhava is given by the Lord. He is awarded by the Lord. So one can go directly from Anartha Nivritti, and the Lord may, if you desire it, He may give you Bhava. But that Bhava which takes us to Prema, it will not take us to Braja Leela. We can enter Dwaraka Leela or we can enter Mathura Leela only. We cannot enter Braja Leela. If we desire Braja Leela, if we want entrance into Braja Leela and serve Sri Radha and Krishna, then we must voluntarily give up lust. That is the criteria, the standard to enter into Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. That we must voluntarily give up lust. You see. Then we enter into the Raganuga stage, and from the Raganuga stage we make development, and that bhava that is granted through Raganuga stage, that bhava can take us to service to Radha and Krishna. So therefore, this is very, very required brahmacharya, whether male or female. This body is, it doesn't apply to male or female because we are spirit souls. So it doesn't matter whether we are male body or female body, this is all externals. So this brahmacharya, giving up love lust, is compulsory for the spirit soul. It doesn't matter. So don't think this is only for the male. If we desire that we want to obtain the service to Srimati Radharani, all of us, whether male or female, we must give up lust. That is the most basic standard requirement. We cannot escape from that. There is no other choice, there is no other way. Nagatim, they say that verse like that. No other way, no other way, no other way. You must give up lust. Voluntarily. Na dhanam, na sundarim, na kavitam, na jagadisha kamiye. There is no possibility of making advancement without that. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada is very nicely quoting the 6 Goswamis. So, lust is not something easy to give up. In the Vraja Leela, generally we hear, when we read Krishna book, how Krishna killed Putana, Tatakasura, Trinavrata, Vayamasura, Vartasura, Bakasura, Kesi, Aristasura. So many demons were mentioned. But actually these were just main names were mentioned. Actually, Krishna would kill about 10 demons before breakfast, but 20 demons after breakfast, and then before lunch another about 10 or 20, and then after lunch again another about 10 or 20, and then before he comes back another 10, maybe like that. So daily about 50 to 60 demons were being killed. That many toys Kamsa would send. because the relationship between Krishna and Kamsa is they are mama, right? We call that mama. Right? Krishna is a nephew. Kamsa is the uncle. And in Indian culture, the uncle, he has to give gifts, right? Always giving gifts. So the different demons that Kamsa was sending, Krishna took them like toys. And naturally children, they love to play with toys. But children also, nobody, that one kid is there. The trick is, you get bored with the toys. So what do? You break it. Then parents have to buy some new toy. Right? Then you break that, and then parents have to buy another toy. So like that, Krishna was always killing all these demons. So the Kamsa will keep sending new and new, different kind of demons for him to play with. This is a kind of enjoyment. This is a chivalry rasa, a different kind of rasas, and one of the rasas is the fighting rasa. It's one of the temporary rasas. So this is fighting. So Krishna loves fighting also. So it was very satisfying to the Lord. Also fighting with the demons, killing the demons is also satisfying. It's one of the rasas, pleasure, pastime of the Lord. So he was killing all these demons. So thousands of demons Krishna was killing. Millions. Because from child, he started like he was 6 days old. He killed Putana. That was the first demon. From day 6 until Krishna left Vrindavan. Why did Krishna leave Vrindavan? That is also, we see if we got time, we can speak about that later. But Balaram, Lord Balaram, he killed only 2 demons, Dhenukasura and Pralambasura. So Dhenukasura, previous life, he was the son of Bali Maharaj. Very big pastimes is there. That Leela, which is described when he went to Swarga and what happened. There was a very nice pastime with Durvasa Muni. In Brahma Vaivarta Purana, that is described. But we will not talk about that today. Some other day maybe. So he was born as the Dhenukasura, the son of Bali. And this demon, Dhenukasura, Dhenuka is a donkey. And a donkey, we know the qualities of a donkey. It can be both lazy and it can also be very hardworking. It can also be very stupid, right? The donkey, it is said that during the rainy season, the donkey becomes very thin. And during the dry season becomes fat. The reason is because during the rainy season, there were a lot of grass. And the donkey is enjoying all the grass in one spot. And then he looks back and says, oh, I've eaten only in such a small place. I've eaten very little, although his stomach is full. So he is in this great anxiety. I've actually eaten very little. During the dry season, the grass is very coarse. So he has to walk a very long distance to actually fill up his stomach. So then he looks back and he says, wow, I've covered such a long distance. That means I was eaten so much. So in the dry season, he gets fat because he's very happy thinking that I've eaten a lot. Whereas actually he's eaten very little. And during the rainy season, although he has eaten a lot, he's always in such this great anxiety. I've eaten very little actually. And then so he becomes thin during the rainy season, although he's eaten a lot. So this is one of his foolishness of the donkey. Another thing is, although the grass is available so much, he has to work so hard, carry so much burden, just to get little grass from his master. Although grass is available freely everywhere, but to get the little grass from his master, like some of you are working very hard under some master, end of the month, you get some palatable salary, which is not enough to maintain yourself, family, or your desire to get a big house, a big car, or a beautiful wife or husband. How much can you satisfy? Rather better to give up. So much endeavor. Daily you spend so much of time working 8 hours, sometimes 10, 15 hours, right, in some multinational companies. Because they were awake in US, you have to be awake here in the middle of the night to answer the phone calls in IT sections and all that, right? You have to do these things. Day and night, you cannot even sleep. You work like that, work like an ass, like this donkey. But you come to temple, prasadam is given to you, a place to sleep is given to you. And you don't want that. So anyway, so this donkey is like that. So it works very hard, but lazy also, and not very intelligent. So these are different qualities of this demon. So one of the psychological things that we do is we carry the burden. 10 years ago, somebody said something to you. 10 years ago. You keep it in the heart. And whenever you look at the devotee, 10 years ago this guy said like this to me. Yeah, like a donkey. Carrying this burden just for one word that devotee said to you. For 10 years you carry that burden on you and you don't even come to temple because of that. Right? Some devotees, they give this excuse. Oh, that Mataji said like this to me. When was 20 years ago? Because of that they don't come to temple. Like a fool. Total fool. You carry this burden in your heart. So many different kind of burden. There was one devotee in Malaysia. Doesn't speak to his mother. For 30 years. Why? Because the mother said something. Own mother. I chastised him. Spoke to him. I said, what are you doing? If your mother were to leave her body today, will you not run and hug her body and then cry? Say yes. So why don't you do that now? Before she leaves the body, go and say sorry to her and talk to her. You love the person. It's not that you don't love your wife or husband or brother or sister or your relative. You love them, but then you carry this burden, this anger, which is stopping you from developing that love, to express that love. But when they die, then you go and cry. Ayo. What is the point? After they die, you go and hug the body and cry. Like a fool. So relationship is important. All these petty things, don't keep in the heart. Forgive and just carry on. Don't keep these things in the heart. What is that? Ternat api sunechena, tarora api sahisnuna, amanina, maanedina, kirtaniya sadahari. Amanina. Don't expect any honor. This is the basis to chant Hare Krishna. Hare, we say, that is the name of Srimati Radharani. If you want to chant her name, if you want to chant the name of Krishna, we want Radha and Krishna, we want to glorify Radha and Krishna. Hare. We cannot chant if we, expect all this nuisance, nonsense, material honor. Why? It is like it's like a stool. Simply expecting honor, people will respect me, this. So amanena, manadena, and always giving all respects to others. Put yourself very, very low. Srimati Radharani is extremely merciful. It is very easy to obtain the mercy of Srimati Radharani if you humble yourself. If you make yourself zero. Immediately you can get her mercy. You will get the shelter of a lotus feet. But if we are proud and we have different kind of desires, honor and worship, it is very difficult. Spiritual life is very difficult. Chanting Hare Krishna is very difficult. So don't become Dhenukasura. It's a different demons. This is all in the heart. All the demons that Krishna killed, these are different demons. So by mercy of Krishna, by chanting Hare Krishna, we can kill. But the demons killed by Balaram, they are very special. That is why only 2 demons were killed by Balaram, Lord Balaram. One is this Dhenukasura. And another one is Pralambasura. Lampa. Aslishya va padaratam pinastumam adarsanan marma hatam karotuva. Yata tata to lampato. Lampa. Same word. Pralamba sura and lampata. What is lamba? Lamba means lust. Pralamba means very, very lust. So that is what Pralamba Sura represents. Lust. See. So that word comes again in this last verse of Shikshaka, Lampa. Of course there it says about Krishna, but so lust, there are ordinary lusts and there are extreme lusts. So in this extreme lust, people do crazy things like, all this homosexual and all these things. These are extreme level of lust. When they don't know how to satisfy the desire, if you have desire, it is all right. Then you can marry, and within the rules and regulation of the Grahastra Ashram, you may satisfy your desire. I'm not married, so I don't know about sex life. But there was a devotee, he was a Grahastha. Today his wife has left body, and today he's a Vanaprastha. So he was telling, Prabhu, sex is only one time only you can enjoy. So only the first time you enjoy. After that, it is nothing. I don't know. I've not experienced. So I can only describe what others, share. He said you can only enjoy sex only one time. After that is nothing. You see. That's all. You see. That is his experience as a grahasta. He was telling this. He was sharing this. So only once. And then for that, your whole life is gone. If you can enjoy something only once, I mean, he cannot be telling, he's a devotee, he cannot be telling lies, right? So if something can be enjoyed only once, and after that it's just like, because one time you take something, prasadam is different, right? You can keep eating prasadam, daily, but it's still so tasty. But, if it's not prasadam, once you've eaten, the taste is finished. Right? So like that. So for that, whole life is wasted. You have to work so hard just to maintain all the byproducts of that. Can you imagine this? What kind of craziness this is? So think about it. Those of you not married yet, think about it. You still have chance to reverse. If you already should, then you have to carry on until you're 50 or something like that. You cannot escape. You have to carry the responsibility of Grahastha life. Once you have entered, then you have to carry the responsibility. There's no choice. But those of you who still has choice, think about this very carefully. So, Lord Balaram, he killed this demon, Pralambasura, the demon of lust. So in other words, lust can be conquered by the mercy of Sri Guru. This is a secret. And Guru Tattva is something which is not properly understood. Generally, when we ask devotees, what is Guru Tattva? They say Guru is a servant of Krishna, Guru is a representative of Krishna. Generally, when we ask devotees, this is the answer they give. Correct? How many of you agree? Raise your hands if you agree. Guru Tattva is, one is a servant, Guru is a servant of Krishna, Guru is a representative of Krishna. If you agree, please raise your hand. It's a wrong answer. Totally wrong answer for a disciple to answer. If a disciple thinks that the Guru is a servant of Krishna, Guru is a representative of Krishna, you cannot make a single progress in your spiritual life. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, we have in the chanting of the holy name, there is a Nama Aparat stage, there is the Nama Bhasha stage, and there is a Suddhanam. Right? We all know this. Right? Nama Aparat stage is we commit offense and we chant Hare Krishna. Nama Bhas is the clearing stage. We realize and we are trying to avoid the offenses to the holy name. And the Suddhanam is where we chant the pure holy name. And Suddhanam is that which can give us Prema Bhakti. Right? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, if a disciple thinks that your guru, our guru, is a servant of Krishna, our guru is a representative of Krishna, you will never get Suddha Nam. You cannot get. So what should a disciple think? Disciple should always think that Krishna has incarnated, Krishna has appeared as my spiritual master. This is what a disciple should meditate upon. That is the proper relationship, proper meditation for a disciple. That he must always meditate upon his guru as the manifestation of Krishna himself. That Krishna has come as my spiritual master. Shakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastraya. Samasta Shastraya. All the scriptures, this is what the scriptures declare. What is that? Shakshat. The truth is Haridvena. Hari has come in disguise as the spiritual master. And throughout Bhagavatam, throughout the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the evidence given by the scripture. Srila Prabhupada makes it so clear that disciple must think like this. So this is the first thing that we need to see properly the Guru, the spiritual master. We see him as a manifestation of Krishna himself. The third offense against the holy name. What is the third offense against the holy name? To disobey the orders of spiritual master and consider him as an ordinary human. So if you think that the spiritual master is another jiva like us, then you're putting that on an equal level. So he is not an ordinary jiva like us. So there is the paradox. The Guru Tattva is actually a paradox. On one side, Guru is Krishna himself. On the other side, Guru is a servant of Krishna. Both must be accepted and harmonized. Just like if you have a karatal, you have two different faces. Right? That is one face and another face. Both must be accepted. Both are truth. But one truth is meant for the Guru. Just like if you ask all of us here, are you Krishna? Nobody will say, right? Everybody will say we are Dasa, we are servant of Krishna. That is a meditation of every devotee. Similarly, the spiritual master also thinks of himself as a servant of Krishna. I am a servant of Krishna. If the Guru thinks he is Krishna, then he is a dog. Right? Prabhupada said very clearly. If any Guru says that I am Krishna, then he is a dog. So every devotee, every Vaishnava always say that I am a servant of Krishna. That is the truth. So that is the meditation of the spiritual master. I am a representative of Krishna, I am a servant of Krishna. Guru thinks like that. That is for the Guru to think. I am a servant of Krishna, I am a representative of Krishna. That is not meditation of the disciple. Disciple, he meditates, Krishna has come as my spiritual master. He has come to deliver me in the form of the spiritual master. Shiksha or Diksha Guru, same. Then you can have faith on the instruction of the spiritual master. You can have absolute faith in the instruction of the spiritual master because you accept that he is the manifestation of Krishna himself. 100% faith. Absolute faith in the spiritual master. You don't believe me, eh? This is something new or like hearing of you. You have heard this before. You have heard this before. That is proper lecture, that is also there. I can put for you all if you want, It's a small statement. Lecture by Prabhupada. It's there. Maybe later we can, during question answer. So, by the mercy of Guru, by the service to the Guru, we can give up. By mercy of the Guru, by prayers to the spiritual master and service to his lotus feet, we can give up this lust. Otherwise, lust is not something easy to give up. When I was young, when I was like 30 years old, now I'm 57 years old. So when I was young, about 30 years old, then I was a brahmachari. I became brahmachari when I was 24 years old. So His Holiness Bhakti Vrajanandana Swami Maharaj was there. So proper disciple from Malaysia, sannyasi. So he was already 60 at that time. So I asked Maharaj, this lust is so difficult to give up. It is so strong. How is it ever possible to give up this lust? And Maharaj said, don't worry, just keep chanting Hare Krishna. And naturally, when you become older, it will fade and it will finish. It will go away. Young age, it is natural. Maharaj said, in the young age, it is very natural that, the lust is very strong because the senses and the body are strong. But as you become older and older, you see, it will go away. It will disappear. I had faith in Maharaj, but it was so difficult to believe at that time when I was 30. But now I'm 57, I'm telling you, it is almost finished. Lust is like, in this age, it is something you have to search for it. Where is it, like that? It's not something natural anymore. So naturally, when you become older, so don't worry. Prabhu, so just chant, just keep chanting and serving. And as you become older, it will disappear. It will not be there. So do not worry. If you are in a young age, So whether you are grahastha or whether you are brahmachari, just tolerate these urges. Vacha vegam, manasa kurode vegam, jiva vegam, udara pasta vegam. Vegam is always there. This urging is always there. Srila Rupa Goswami did not tell us to give up, that we have to give up lust. He said we simply have to tolerate it. Right? There is a difference. He didn't say give up, then only you become qualified. Prithivim sa shishyat. No, he said simply have to tolerate. Because it is always there, it is always, coming. In young age especially, it is very strong. But in old age, as I say, you have to go and search for it. Otherwise, it's disappeared, it's gone. So do not worry too much. Just have faith in the spiritual master, serve him. Lord Chaitanya, he has said, Gopi Batur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasa. By service to the spiritual master is the way, is the secret to obtain the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Because the spiritual master is the representative of Srimati Radharani and also Lord Balaram. Simultaneously, he is representative of both. And in our lineage, all the acharyas, they are all manjaris. Manjaris are different from the gopis. Gopis has a desire to have a relationship with Krishna. But in manjaris, they don't even have that desire. They just want to serve Radha and Krishna without having any personally motivated desires, even to have a relationship with Krishna, like the gopis. And that is the revelation of Lord Chaitanya, that he has given us this special bhava, Manjari bhava, simply to serve Radha and Krishna. And all our acharyas, they are coming, all are Manjaris, just to serve Radha and Krishna like that. So this is the Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is the topmost, the Paramahamsa, it is described here. This is the Paramahamsa, Paramahamsas of the Paramahamsas, the most topmost, because he's totally selfless, simply a desire to serve like that. So it's very, very sweet, because totally selfless. So it becomes very, very sweet, the relationship that we have with Radha and Krishna. Because there is a tinge of selflessness in this service. Zero for me and everything for Radha and Krishna. We do not desire, just like here, Srila Prabhupada is saying, the great saintly persons sacrifice all kinds of bodily comforts for the benefit of the human society. So we have to take inspiration from these words of Srila Prabhupada, that we sacrifice. In other words, to sacrifice means we take up different kind of difficulties to help others, to assist others in Krishna consciousness. It may be a little difficult, but we have to take up. You may have heard about the disciple of His Holiness Indradumna Swami in Russia, a lady, she's an old lady. In Bangalore, this is nice, very cooling weather. But in Russia, it is very, very cold. Very cold. And this Mataji, she has only one dress to go out. Only one sari. She has only one chair. Only one table. One stove. One pot in her house. Daily, she would go out on Sankirtan, whether it's winter or summer. Just in that sari in winter, imagine just wearing a sari in the winter in Russia. She would go out on book distribution every day, without fail, and distribute books, and whatever she earns, she keeps it as a Guru Dakshana for her spiritual master. She don't spend a single cent for her comfort. She maintains a bare minimum life. As I said, one sari, one pot, everything, just one piece for her. That's all. And then one time, 2 years ago, His Holiness, when Maharaj visited Russia, they told about her. So he went to the house and he saw her. He saw with his own eyes. Just one chair, one table, one pot. She's not a single cent she's using for herself, for her comfort. Everything she's giving to her Guru. Such a person is qualified to attain the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, because she's so dedicated to serve the Guru. Why will Srimati Radharani not show mercy to such a personality? So like this, we can take inspiration from this Mataji and dedicate ourselves, whatever difficulty Aslishya va paranatam pinastumam adarsanan marma hatam karotu va. Marma, that's word in this verse. Marma, we know in India there is this marma kalai, that if you touch a certain point in the body, then you become paralyzed. So like that, different part of our body may give us different kind of pain, difficulty, suffering. That is natural. Adi Atma, Adi Bhuta, Adi Daivika, Kleshas. That is always there. But we, Srila Prabhupada himself, if you see, his Adi Atmika Klesha, Srila Prabhupada, he had about 30 diseases in his body. 30 different kind of disease. If you read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, if you speak to his disciples, like His Grace Brahmananda Prabhu has already left body now, but if you talk to them, that is why when we meet Srila Prabhupada disciples, we have to ask, especially those who has been a servant of Srila Prabhupada personally. These are not generally known things about Srila Prabhupada. But he had about 30 over different disease, different kind of medical issues. He was traveling all over the world with all these difficulties in his body. One time he was having toothache. For a few days, it was swollen. Not a single complaint. Prabhupada was just carrying on with the Bhagavatam class, chanting, speaking to the guests, everything, translating, everything he was doing. Not that I have a toothache, Of course, nowadays we can run to the dentist and do something about it. We are not saying don't do that. We cannot try to imitate the Paramahamsa. But Prabhupada just tolerated everything and carried on serving his spiritual master. Even, a toothache like that. But as I said, he had over 30 over disease in his body. No complaints. Never told anybody, never shared with anybody. Only some things like when he's not, there was time he was not able to pass urine, so they have to, because it was emergency, because if you are not able to pass urine, then that becomes very toxic to the body. So they have to take and then do a minor operation. Because that was absolute necessity to save him. So like that, Prabhupada had different kind of issues. But he never shared with anybody. Only the personal servants they know. Simply tolerated and totally dedicated to serve his Guru. So like that, Prabhupada is describing here, we need to take austerities. What is austerity? Accept all kind of difficulty to expand this movement of Lord Chaitanya. That is the duty of the disciple. Simply dedicate yourself in expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya. That is all that is required. Some of you may have heard of His Grace Madhudvis, not Madhudvis, what is his name? I can't remember. One proper disciple, sannyasi, he was preaching in Japan. Very short, but very powerful sannyasi. Later he got married. No, another Western sannyasi, American bodied, very very strong, sannyasi. I I can't recall his name, but he was preaching in Japan. So now he's old. So one time he was at Radhakund, and then he saw another very elderly devotee, new devotee from America, and he was doing Dandavat Parikrama in Radhakund. And then this devotee is very strong devotee, although he was already, now he's about 70 years old, but still very strong. He caught all of the devotee, pull him up. That's how he will deal, He just pulled him up. He said, "What are you doing?" "What are you doing?" he asked. He said, "I'm doing Dandavat Parikrama." I know, I can see that you're doing Dandavat Parikrama. Why are you doing this Dandavat Parikrama? And the devotee said, "I want to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani." And he chastised him. "This is not the way to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. That you do this Dandavat Parikrama. This is cheating. You want to get Radharani's mercy? Go back to America, go and distribute books in the streets of America. That is how you can get the mercy of Radharani, when we please Srila Prabhupada. When we act, when we bring pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. That is by making devotees. So whether you distribute books or do Bhakti Vriksha or whatever, make devotees. Make it your mission. 1 year, at least one devotee. You make one new devotee. We are not telling 5, 10, 20. Each person, 1 year, one person. One non-devotee, you concentrate on one person, make that one person devotee. Each one of us. Bas. 500 devotees means 500 becomes another 500. Every year. Next year, concentrate on somebody else. Pick up one person, concentrate on 1 year, you just concentrate on one person, making him a devotee. 1 year once. 30 years, you already made 30 devotees. And from him, you will make another. If that devotee, like that is, many acharyas are there. Rashika Murari, Prabhu. He was only disciple of his guru. Only disciple. But Rashika Murari Prabhu had thousands of disciples. So you may make one devotee, but that devotee may make 1,000. So you also get that commission. So don't worry. Oh, I'm only making one devotee. Don't worry about that, because we don't know what that devotee is going to make. So 1 year, just make one person, non-devotee, concentrate on one person. You have 365 days to make a person devotee. That is not very difficult challenge. Right? This is something we can do. It is possible. Right? Because if you spread too much, it's very difficult. But if you just concentrate on one person, okay, I fix this guy, I want to make him a devotee. That's not very difficult. Okay, make very nice friendship with him. It starts with friendship. Give nice prasad, and glorify him. You're very nice. You're a wonderful person. This, like that. Capture his heart. Make a very good friendship, and then you speak about Krishna consciousness to him, like that. So, like that, when we serve Srila Prabhupada, when we serve our spiritual master, by expanding this movement, definitely we can get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Okay. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimati Radharani ki, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanandi. If there is any questions or doubts, anybody like to share anything? Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, so it's only in the course of time, once you become more into will go away slowly. So like there are two things probably in this. One is chanting Hare Krishna is also it will help to reduce it. And another thing maybe like with the age only, like it decreases. But we see sometimes outside people like very old in 12 countries, now in India also going on. They are getting married and like that. So if just by chanting Hare Krishna will help out like age like we are growing old. So that will also will have effect in that.
You see, age alone will not make it go. Without chanting Hare Krishna, we can see that is why many elderly people, even everywhere, all over the world, old people also, they're getting married, and then, some doing all crazy things, you see. So like that, it is not easy to give up lust, even at old age, if we don't chant Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna without offenses. You see, yes. Without bhakti, it is not possible. So, because bhakti, when we chant Hare Krishna without offenses, at least in the clearing stage, when we come to the Nama Bhash stage, when we at least chant in this stage, then it is, you can say, it's very blissful. It is so blissful that, these things just disappears. Also, another important thing is the mercy of the spiritual master. As I said, the demon killed by, Lord Balaram, Pralambasura. So that is why I say it's not just chanting Hare Krishna, it's many things. It's chanting Hare Krishna without offenses, and we have to have the mercy of the spiritual master also. You see, so we don't offend Vaishnavas. Because if we commit offenses to devotees, then it's finished. Whatever bhakti that we do, it's gone. So we must be free from committing offenses to devotees. Very, very essential point. And the way to overcome this is by always glorifying devotees, always thinking positive about devotees. It is natural that our tendency is to find faults. It is natural as a living entity in the conditioned stage. It is very natural to find for faults. So whenever we look at devotee and some, negative thoughts comes to our mind about the devotee, then immediately we have to reverse. What is his good qualities? So it is natural that we think negatively, but we have to realize this is wrong, and immediately we reverse and say, okay, what is his good quality? So then you start to think, okay, he has these good qualities, these good qualities. So like that, we must reverse the process immediately within our mind itself. So like this, we have to practice. And when we keep practicing this, then the mind, because the mind is, this is called mind setting. So you are setting the mind to always think positively about others, to always think good about others. You see, so you are reversing the nature of the mind, that it is thinking negatively. Now, since you are training the mind to always think positive, the mind will follow that. Because we are the master. The mind is our servant. So we have to train the mind, and then once the mind is set to think positively, it becomes very natural, it becomes very easy to always glorify and speak good about devotees, to think good about devotees. Okay? Don't get involved in management. Because in management you have to handle all kind of negativities. Yes. Sometimes devotees think, oh, he's in management, he's enjoying so nicely. It is a curse. To perform bhakti while you are in management is not easy thing. Because you have to be what you call detached. Because on one side you have to chastise and do different things. You see, you have to find fault. You see, you have to look for fault. In management, you have to look for fault. Because you always want to improve. Without looking for fault, there is no way to improve things. Okay? Like if I want to say a fault, okay? Like, okay, if I see the book table there, see, 90% is the present spiritual masters' books are there. Maybe 10% Prabhupada books are there in the book table. So this is a fault. Naturally, you can see, because that is the management. You see, you look for, that is how we train our mind in management, because we want to improve always. We see where we can improve. So in management, we are, that is a mindset. But you cannot do that to devotees. With devotees, you immediately become a grass. Immediately. When we're dealing with devotees, you have to become very humble. So management is very difficult. You have to always change your cap. Okay? So it's very easy to become a devotee when you are not in management. Because you don't have to look for faults. You just have to keep glorifying and praise and look for good in others. That's all. So what is the difficulty? So avoid offenses to devotees, which is, it will destroy our bhakti. You see. So these are the foundational things that we must do. Chanting without offenses, not committing any offense to any devotees, always glorifying devotees, service to the spiritual master, always dedicating ourselves. Do not consider about our discomfort, but always dedicated to serve the spiritual master. Then, by the mercy of the Lord and spiritual master, we can achieve many things, including overcoming lust. All right? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
My question is that, if we try to please some person, then what happens is gradually he actually we speak to some outside person. We speak some Krishna Katha, some Krishna consciousness, and they will tell them to chant. And then what happens is a stage comes where we think that if we tell more, then he may become he will think that it's too much, or why is telling more, or something. What happens is something comes in between that I don't want to, or he's giving too much, he may think that I'm so that something comes in between, and again to fully preach in Krishna consciousness to him becomes a little difficult. So why it is difficult and how to overcome it?
You see, there is first time when we meet somebody, and then 2-3 times, then somebody is already, interested. So there are different stages are there. See, Prabhupada, he has taught us how to preach. See, one time in Manor, Bhaktivedanta Manor, so the devotees, especially Shamsundar Prabhu and others, they would always bring different people to meet Srila Prabhupada. And one time they brought a F1 driver. So this person came to meet Srila Prabhupada and sat opposite Prabhupada. And then he was speaking. He was speaking this and that. And Prabhupada was very silent. And he was going on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And the devotees who brought him, they were becoming very uneasy. Because he was just monopolizing the whole time. And he is just going on and speaking and speaking and speaking. And Prabhupada, he was paying attention to him and listening. Acha, acha, I see. Oh, very nice. Oh. Prabhupada was very attentively listening. And the disciples, they were getting very disturbed. And he was going on and on for half an hour he was speaking. Prabhupada was just listening to him. And he was speaking all nonsense. Karmi, total karmi. He doesn't know anything Krishna. He was just going on for half an hour and Prabhupada was just listening. And then after half an hour, then Prabhupada asked him a question. When you are driving this F1 in the race, and then sometimes there is a very sharp corner that you have to take, so then you have to control, the car very carefully. So in that kind of situation, do you fear? Some fear come to you? Do you fear death? In that situation, you say yes, Swamiji. I experienced this kind of fear, the death and all that. Then Prabhupada started preaching to him. And he was very silently, he was listening. Because Prabhupada was listening to him for half an hour, very attentively. And when Prabhupada started speaking, he was listening very attentively. So like that, when we meet someone for the first time, it is our psychology that we have our defenses, right? All of us, we put defense. Because especially with someone who don't know, someone we're meeting first time, naturally we put our defense. When we speak, we have our defenses, psychological defenses. We put that in front and then we are very carefully, we speak. Because we don't want to reveal our true self to someone we don't know. That is a natural psychology, right? Nobody, first time you meet, immediately they started revealing everything about themselves. No, they don't do that. So the trick is, let that fellow talk. And we very nicely encourage him. Sometimes it may take 1 hour, sometimes it may take 2 hours. Let him speak. And you will listen very carefully. And by listening very carefully, we can understand what is his strength, what is his weakness. So we know where to attack him. Because if we attack his strong points, you cannot defeat him. You cannot enter. Because naturally he is with defense. So we must find, when he is speaking, you encourage to speak and speak and speak. You must find out where is his weakness. Then one bang, he's finished. That person is like argumentative kind of person. Somebody who doesn't want to accept Krishna consciousness. That this person, is like a very strong anti-Krishna consciousness. Then you must look for his weakness. Then you bang. But for that, you must listen very carefully. Let him speak. Encourage him to speak. Ask him different questions so that he will speak and speak and speak. And then you look for his weakness. One bang. That's it. He's flat. He will surrender. But be careful not to hurt his ego. That bang that we do has to be with love, with compassion. That he understand that we are not doing it so that I become better than you. I'm, higher, whatever. But we do it because he understands that we want to show him love, we want to show him compassion. It is not a fight of ego. So never get into that ego trip when we preach, that we want to show that I'm better than you. But we always remain as a servant of everyone. So he has to see that this person is genuinely caring for me. He has to understand that. Otherwise it becomes an ego fight. Finish. We cannot preach. So if it's the first time, if it's someone anti, someone who is a friendly person, someone who is not against Krishna consciousness, again, naturally again the defense is there always, but it is lesser. So we have to find what is his like, what he dislikes. Like for instance, if you want to give him prasad, then you must know this person like, spicy food or he likes sweet food. So if you want to take prasad also, if a person likes sweet food and you bring him some spicy food, prasadam, it's not going to work. You see. So like that, it is very important always to find out about the person, to know about the person first before we can preach to them. So that is why we make friendship, talk to them, let them talk, find out about them. Then accordingly, okay, he likes sweet, so then you give him sweet prasadam. If he likes spicy prasadam, give him spicy prasadam. So like that, I'm giving just examples, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Find out the nature of the person, and according to his nature, what he likes, what he dislikes, then you go in. Establish that relationship. First, lock that relationship. Touch his heart. You see, that person trusts you. Once he trusts you, that's it. The game is won. Most people outside, they want love. Because that is what they don't get. Because everything they see is a lot of selfishness. But when we show genuine love and care, people are touched. They will surrender. For most people, it is just a game of love. Oh, this person is so caring. Someone who is genuinely caring for me. That's all they want. But you have to spend time. That is why, as I say, don't take too many persons. Just one person is enough. Because you can concentrate. Too many persons, you want to call the person daily and talk to them, even 5 minutes. If you have too many persons, it's very difficult. But if it's just one person, it is not difficult to just call, every 2 days or once, just give a call, speak for 5 minutes. That's it. And don't immediately talk, bombard them with Krishna consciousness. Don't ever do that. Let them come and ask, Prabhu, I want Krishna consciousness. Teach me about Krishna consciousness. Then you start giving everything, whatever you have. But until that point, give little, 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 like a drop. Let them, taste little by little. And then they taste, they like it, I want more, give me more, give me more. Once they come, then we give them more and more and more. But if we try to straight away dump everything, it will not work. Very rare person, it may work. Someone who is very, very eager, they also already is already on like Sukadev Goswami. Then that is different. But very rare to meet such person. Very, very rare. But there are some people like that. There are some Sukadeva Goswamis, walking in our streets. They are seriously looking for something. If we meet such a person, you can straight away give them, like that. Today you give, tomorrow the guy joined the temple. There are many Prabhupada disciples were like that. You see, they just come one time to the temple and immediately on the spot they join the temple, right? We have heard such stories. They don't need so much, this and that. So many times they have to come, Sunday program, eat prasad, nothing. First time he walk into the temple, straight away, immediately join full time. So that is like Sukadev Goswamis. You see, they're very rare. Such persons are there, but they're very rare. In India also they'll be there. But it's very, very rare. Okay. So according to the people we are preaching, we have to see them, and accordingly we have to feed Krishna consciousness. That is why, even like we have some people, we cannot even preach about the holy name. You see, we cannot tell them the glories of the holy name because that is not their level. So know the person to whom we are speaking to first, and accordingly, very maturely. So Krishna consciousness, we have to be very mature. We cannot be a gung-ho, fanatical person. You have to be like a doctor. You have to know your patient, and accordingly you have to administer the medication. Like that. Okay? Hare Krishna. So I think we can end here now. Is that okay? Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Gaur Sitarat Premanandi.